TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. And tonight we're here because it is First Monday. And on First Monday, we love to hear from you and hear all about you. We've also got some special guests coming in tonight. So be sure to share this out with your friends and let them know, hey, the Biz Chicks have something going on for First Mondays that's special. In addition to that, we just want to invite you, if you have not already done so, to come on and join the Biz Chicks community. You can do so by texting Biz to 33777. And you can see it scrolling across the bottom right there. But more importantly, I just want to say good evening to everyone and thank you for joining in. I'm here with my partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina for California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. We want to welcome everybody in the clubhouse, those of you watching live, and those of you who just might be watching on the replay later. So sit back, relax. Let's have a conversation tonight and get to know more about you. We may ask you to come in and tell us a little bit about your business, what you do, and how we can connect with you. Because tonight we're here to connect, share, and grow. How you doing, Fran?
I am doing very, very well. I am excited about today's guest. I am excited to hear what you all got going on in your business and things that you got going on. This is the last push before
Oh,
the new
wow.
year. Hmm?
You're right. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, this is the last few weeks of the year. And so things are moving forward, and I think this is going to be great. Whew, I'm excited. So, like Terry said, we are here every first Monday, and we're here Monday through Friday on all of our platforms, which is Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. And I think we even have a TikTok account, which we'll be talking and trying to do a couple of things on there. I learned some new YouTube moves
Oh, great.
you will be seeing. And then we will add to our arsenal. We got Mark Ward down here in the clubhouse. Hello, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
And I'm going to bring him on the stage so he can come on up. Um, this is where you get to showcase who you are, what it is that you do, and how you can show and share how you help. So that is what we're talking about all day today for the time that we are here. Um, Terry and we help in three significant ways. One of them is with our workshops. We
Mhm.
have a workshop right now that we are working, which is the YouTube workshop, because YouTube is a platform of the hour. It
Mhm.
gets you more looks and more, um, what can I say? It's more,
Exposure.
it's
Mhm.
more than the other two, the other
Yes, I
one
love
right now. It is more than the others. And if you
it.
know Dr. Tachi, whatever that needs to be better, easier. There's some things about YouTube that if you're interested in the basics course, we can get you hooked up for that. So there's YouTube workshops. We do other workshops, but right now we're YouTube focused. Then we have workshops, office hours, meaning that one-on-one time. If you got a question, not quite sure which direction to go, then you can schedule a one-on-one. We'll tell you which direction. We will probably hook you up with one of the many friends that we have here who has a special uh, set of skills and what you're looking for. If we can't help you, we are definitely going to find someone that help get you going and wherever you need to be. And then thirdly, we have our masterminds where we deal with thinking. My whole thing for me personally is about helping you retrain your thinking for success. And everything starts in the mind. Your success, your failure is all started up here somewhere. So we try and get that done. So we're off to a start, and what we're going to do. Oh, and we live stream for you. This is what we do. We've been asked to do so many graduations and conferences and weddings via live stream.
Mhm.
And so we've been doing that lately. So if you have an event, or you need to have help with your live stream, and you don't want to do the work, and you just want to go on air, and we push the buttons in the background, we can do that for you. Okay? So that is who we are, what we do. Now, our guest today.
Mhm.
Ooh, you guys are going to love. We have Sherry Steine. She is a interior environment coach. Did I get that right, Sherry?
Mhm.
Yes, you
Yay.
did.
Interior environment coach. She was on with us when we first started back, I'm going to say 2015,
16, 15 or 16,
16. Yeah,
somewhere in there.
it
Yeah.
was
Time does fly, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
and she has so many unique insights how we can create our living spaces so that we can thrive, right?
Yeah,
And then we also have Enrique Greathouse coming in, and she's going to tell us a little bit about what she does. And I know Rika has to dip out of here. So Sherry, if you don't mind, I'm gonna let Rika go and say what she has to,
sure.
because she's got to run, but she
Mhm.
has a unique product offering or product service, something you all need to hear because you
There
might
you
need
go.
help. Rika, tell us what it is you got going on.
Hey, I it's funny because I always like to get to know what you guys are up to first, but but I guess I'm gonna share first. I'm Enrica. I am a brand builder, storyteller, uh, just as creative, and I help entrepreneurs tell better
Mhm.
stories so they can grow with more ease, less stress, less dread. I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs on my day to day, and they always come with they really want to grow and they need to grow, especially for sustainability. And a lot of entrepreneurs I work with are very impact driven. They will have good work that they need to get out into the world, but sometimes that the dread of like how to grow, what to do, there's a marketing overwhelm, like they do this and they say do this. And also what I learned, um, is that a lot of people know what to do and they have a lot of different techniques out, a lot of programs that'll give you a whole bunch of ways to grow, but they lack on the implementation, like how to help you implement. And so they're like, just go do it. And sometimes that's hard for entrepreneurs because we as entrepreneurs have a lot of hats that we wear. We're already busy. How can we implement, right? And so me and my team, I'm a founder of Small Gorilla, which we again partner with entrepreneurs. We've come up with a small group coaching program. It's really more than coaching, it's coaching with implementation support. So me and my team of creatives, we have cinematographers, designers, just all around creatives, copywriters. Uh, and I myself am a creative and a marketer, especially focused on storytelling. We kind of partner with a few, we can't do it with everybody because it's very hands-on, but we partner with a few entrepreneurs to work with them long term, on a month-to-month basis, to really get their ideas, their heart, their impact work out into the world, not just out and thriving, so you can focus on doing the work you love, doing the work that matters, not focus on all of the, is it trending, is it the posting, is it content, all that extra stuff. So we try to help with the heavy lifting and give you ways to grow with more ease. So all that to say, we were like, actually this is beta. I know I was going to share it because it's very small amount of people that we're working with right now. But my Francine was like, jump on and share what you're up to, because and so Francine is one of the people in it. And so I'm like, all right, I'll share it. You have good, I trust you, you have good people, and I'm looking forward to hearing all the good great work that you guys are up to. I know I got to drop my daughter off, but hopefully you guys will still be on by the time I come back. But how about questions? Let's get some questions. Or what are you guys working on right now? And what do you find, like, what are your implementation challenges that you're going through? I'm not sure who's on, but I would love to like make it interactive conversation.
All right. So we have people who are here on Clubhouse that are here. And we also we got Dryer Buzz and Mark Ward in Clubhouse. And then whoever's here. So does anybody have any questions? That includes Terry and Sherry, and Mark or Yolanda. Anybody got a question?
Especially concerning big challenges to getting your work out in a way that is thriving into the people who needs to hear and to see and be a part of what you're up to in the world.
Now, see, that was the question. How do you reach your target market in a way that makes them respond and want to use your services?
And that's the question to me. I can definitely tell you in a
Yep.
quick
Yeah.
way. It's basically stories. Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys know Seth Godin. I work with Seth. I work with Bernadette Jiwa. I get to hear for the best minds in marketing, and to make it short, the through line is stories. You can learn how to tell concise, consistent, compelling stories in a way around the kind of change that you're creating, whether you're a dress seller, whether you are a coach, whatever type of change you are bringing to the world. If you can tell stories around that, when I say stories, I mean like how you help customers, a customer highlight, your origin story, how you got started, what flipped on for you. And now it's not one big giant story. These are small, impactful stories. And then add a little question to it. There's engagement right there. So that's a little secret, right? And stories is not I'm gifted storyteller. I'm a coach in a program called Story Skills, and we like fanatically preach that story is a skill and you can learn it, and it's practicing. It's very super simple, and when you engage your people with stories, whether that's visual, telling little short stories, it engages people, and people can hear the change that you're creating, and they want to be a part of it, and it creates conversation. So if you take anything away, you ain't gotta come to my program or anything like that. Just start practicing telling stories, small engagement, question generating stories. You're on your way to engagement and growth, where people can find you and people will want to get engaged with what you're doing in the world.
Thank you.
All right.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too. Anybody want to comment from the Clubhouse, Cheryl, Mark, or Dryer Buzz?
Well, Luana said that is my question.
In telling the stories.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
In telling the stories, I love that she said you didn't ask the question, because a large part of this, especially when it comes to meeting the needs and giving customers what they want, is you have to listen. And so that's, to me, has been a large part of the success that we've had, because, we started, I would go back and look at some of the first stuff that we put out. That was what we thought we wanted to do, but we're at an entirely different place now. And it's just really about listening to what people want and deciding that you're going to provide that solution, making a promise to keep it out there. That's helped us a lot.
Oh, thank you. And
now,
that is Dryer Buzz. That's Dryer Buzz from over here in Clubhouse. She go ahead.
I have to put an amen times 1,000 on that, because when I'm teaching, I'm gonna be doing a talk of stories, a little small talk. And the first point is empathetic listening, like listening deeply, because people can tell stories. And if you tell stories that people don't really want to hear, or it's not what they already want to do, it's a miss. So the first step to telling engaging stories is listening with all that you have, listening with your eyes, with your ears, with your intention. What are they saying? Not just what they're saying, but what are they doing? What's the behavior? Is to take it all in, be more interested than you are trying to be interesting. You feel me? So go out, be with your people, get closer to them. That's the first step to telling engaging stories, because stories are the key, but it has to be the right stories that they want to hear, stories that they already want to tell themselves, be able to tell themselves, stories that they already want to live into, stories of change they already want to be a part of. So you got to kind of open your heart, open your mind, open your ears to hear what's already going on, what conversations they're already having, and lean into that and tell those stories. So whoever I missed her name again, but
That's
yes
Dryer
and amen.
Buzz. Dryer Buzz.
Yes
Yes.
and amen.
And then Luana says that was her question, and she said thank you, and then explain the story with the question is what Luana says. So explaining the story with a question, and I think that's answering the question.
And I would say too, you don't necessarily need to explain the story, because what I learned telling so many stories through coaching and through my just telling stories is that what you think is the main point of the story, somebody will have a whole different lens and be like, girl, they become like, this totally changed my life. You said this and this. I'm like, did I say that? And it's like when you go to a movie, right? And you see something, you like that, wow, I hit my heart like this. And somebody else can see a totally separate thing. So just telling the story and having the intention, right? And having the heart of your people within that story, but holding loose what the big takeaway is. Like, don't like try to preach at the end of it, because people, if you leave it like more open-ended questions, people will come to their own conclusions, and it'll be exactly what they need in that time. And they'll be like, girl, I can't believe you said this. I'm like, did I say that? But they see and they grab what they need from that story. So try to keep the question open-ended, and let it be what it needs to be for that person, for the audience.
Okay, and then I think that answers Lawana's question. She asked, what kind of question should she ask? And I heard open-ended. All right. Anybody else have any questions for Enrique? And if not, we're going to move on to our next segment.
Oh, I do have a question.
Oh, okay, go ahead, Sherry.
Is how can we get in touch with you?
Yes.
And as a beta, program, are you accepting any more clients at this time?
That's a good question, Francine. I'm gonna let you. So the beta is very small, so it's a short application, just to make sure that it's going to be a good fit, and that I can pour into you and you can pour into. It's a small community, so I'm going to let Francine give you the link. There's some coupon codes where it's pay what you want to pay for the first 2 months, and so long as you get past that first application, to make sure we get the right people in the room, generous people doing impact work, then there's a pay what you want type of coupon for the beta. It's going to be very small, but Francine, you get the link, because I gotta go run my daughter to singing practice.
Yeah, I believe I have the link, and I will put it in the Clubhouse, and I will put it here in the chat. Thank you so much, Rika, for dropping in and sharing that nugget.
It's my privilege. You all know it. I would talk about this storytelling, impact-driven entrepreneurs all day. So call me back to a class or to a session where I have more time, so we can get into it, have this conversation, and we can get it in. All right, see you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, so now Miss Sherry. Woo! Sherry Burton. No, Sherry Steine. I'm going back to.
Oh yeah. Well, Burton is still my middle name, my maiden name, but I have a new married name. So, how are you?
Doing very, very well.
We have missed you, girl.
I know. I am just so excited to be here and to be with you all. And you all have helped me in so many ways that I just haven't even had a chance to tell you. So, but we'll have an opportunity to do that hopefully soon.
Good.
So what's up? What do you need? What are you're interested in?
We got stuff happening, Christmas going on. I know my house is in a interesting place. Let's put it that way.
I understand.
Okay. The
Woo.
other thing, Sherry, is that we have been in these homes, in some cases on lockdown for several months.
Hmm.
And the question is, how do we make it more conducive for us to thrive in our homes, in our environment? Can you help
Well,
a sister out?
okay, well, there's two different ways to come at this. And just for those of folks that may not know me or just listening to me for the first time, my name is Sherry Steine, and my company is called SBW Aligned Expressions. And what we are about is helping people align their personal, professional goals and desires with their interior spaces. And those could be either their homes, their offices, what have you. And we do this in so many different ways, which I'll get into. But to answer your question at this point, is to understand what you personally want to feel in your space. And you have heard me say on many occasions in the past that, this whole concept of what we call feel good spaces. And I did write a book about this back in 2012. Man, it's going to be 10 years, right? Uh,
Yeah.
Feel good spaces, decorating your home for the body, mind, and spirit. So I come from a place of feng shui, holistic design, design psychology, and looking at the home from a standpoint of how does it make us feel? How do we energize and really come into being with ourselves? And how is our homes reflecting not what top magazines or television shows or even model homes look like, but
Mhm.
understanding how is the home reflecting who you are as an individual, how is it re-energizing you and giving you back good health, good relationships, um, wealth, all those really special things. And it really comes down to a few things, really. Is first of all, decorating with things that you absolutely love, whether it's your colors, whether it's artwork, whether it's what have you. The second thing is big is decluttering, is not having a lot of
Yes.
clutter around, not, having a lot of spaciousness in your home. And three, believe it or not, is having things in your home that is not broken, that is not
Mm.
stagnant with energy. If it's a appliance, if it's a window, if it's something that just kind of brings or drains energy, making sure that is, that you have good working things in good working order. And believe it or not, those are things that really affect even your health, your mood, your mental attitude, those kinds of things. Another thing that I would say is nature, making sure you have plants, um, plants that you can feel comfortable taking care of. I know a lot of people don't necessarily feel comfortable with a lot of plants and so forth, but there are easy plants such as snake plants, for
Mm.
example, that doesn't take a lot of problems with care and so forth.
Okay,
And
because I'm not that person.
right, right, right. And then the other thing is having special places in your home that you can come to rejuvenate yourself, whether it's prayer room, meditation room. For me, I am, since I've last seen you, I'm also a yoga teacher. So I like movement, and making
Mhm.
having movement in your home also circulates good energy as well, whether it's dancing, whether it's, other forms of exercise, yoga, what have you, that creates a lot of good energy too. So I'm telling you a lot of things that are a little bit different than what you might hear a lot of other decorators talk about, but also understanding where it is that you want to go in your life, understanding your own professional goals, your personal goals, and making sure that your home reflects those things and
Mhm.
reinforces those things. And, clutter, I can't say it enough, is like one of the biggest things is making sure that you have Zen spaces, decluttering, colors that you love in your space, comfortable furniture. Doesn't have to be expensive. What I'm talking about doesn't have to cost you a whole lot of money. It's just kind of, I don't know, kind of common sense stuff,
Mhm.
in a sense. And it's not about decorating for their neighbors or decorating for your like your in-laws or your, other people or whatever. It's all about decorating for yourself. And I have preached that for so many years, and creating daily tasks that you do in creating a space as a ritual.
Mhm.
It's
And
just
creating.
celebrating life and celebrating yourself.
Yes. Now, Mark and I have something in common. He says here, I'm a plant serial killer. I, you know, but
But
let me
there's other ways, you can
ask
kind of
you this,
create.
Sherry. Can we get the same benefit from silk flowers? I mean,
Oh
like
yeah, silk flowers.
because you give, okay.
Yeah, and what we're talking about is, detoxifying space, right?
Mhm.
Detoxifying the air. And like right now, going on behind me is a diffuser, essential oil
Mhm.
diffuser. And if you are into scents, essential oils are from plants, right? So that's creating and bringing in the same level of energy, but with smell, you know,
I see.
you know what I
Okay.
mean? So
Yes,
there's so many different ways to
I
go
think we
with
had the
it.
same diffuser back then.
You might.
Yeah.
This is from I got this, where did I find this? At Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
it's a ultrasonic, which is very
Mm.
important. Ultrasonic diffuser, which is better for the air and
Ah,
keeping, the air clean and purified, and, putting just essential oils like eucalyptus, for example,
yes.
to clean the air and kind of create a feel good space,
Mhm.
is it, or frankincense, and so those are integrating plants, right?
Aha.
Because the oils come from plants, from
And
wildlife.
I never considered that to be, the same, one and the same, but it makes
Well,
sense. Same
yeah,
source.
and yeah, I think that, and one of the other things that I just thought about is, even if you don't feel comfortable with plant life, of course, the silk flowers, even bringing in, flowers from the grocery store and putting
Mhm.
them on a nice vase in your living room or in your office that just kind of give you a pick me up, that, you can, just feel good about. Bringing in artwork that shows plant life is another
Mm.
way of doing it. So, there's just, it's all about you and what makes you feel good and what kind of brings you joy, you know? It's all about joy.
Yes, we say
Thank you.
do what makes you smile. Well,
Mhm.
Yeah.
well, Cheryl is here and she says this information is
Ooh.
absolutely priceless. Yes, it is,
Oh,
Cheryl.
thank you.
Yes,
Mhm,
it is. And then Mark has another comment here. He says,
I didn't see it.
this is a great reminder. If you are an empath, you may be absorbing negative energy that needs to be released. It can be safely released in plants.
I like him. Wow. Yeah. I am an empath, by the way. So yeah, that's definitely true. And another thing, particularly this time of year, that I really emphasize that a lot of people don't talk much about, but should talk more about,
mhm.
particularly since we are in, the pandemic and so forth, is this whole thing about seasonal affectiveness
Yes.
disorder, SAD, SAD, and the fact that it affects many people. And want to talk about stories. Growing up, I grew up in upstate New York, and this is even further upstate than the Catskills. A lot of people think
Mm.
of the Catskills, so I'm talking about central New York, Adirondacks. Um, it snows a lot up there. We might have like
Yes.
3 or 4 months a year that we had actually sunshine. And I noticed that my mother, for example, used to have seasonal affective disorder. She was from Virginia,
Mm.
and she's living way upstate New York because that's where my dad retired and what have you. And, I just noticed like in January, she would, right after the holidays, she would just get into this funk. And I never really paid attention to it or what have you. But then when I thought about it as an adult, I said,
Yes.
"You know what? It's probably that because it's cloudy. It's,
Mm.
overcast, it's cold. We have
It's
shorter
dark.
days and all of this kind of stuff. So,
Mm.
there are even decorating, with brighter colors and
Mm.
bringing in, a lot of artwork and things that are, what reminds me is like, bringing in artwork from Jamaica or the Caribbean. They have just such bright colors,
Mm.
wall colors, um, accessories and things that just kind of uplift the mood, so to speak. Lighting is very important too in these situations. So, making sure you have plenty of lighting in your home. If it's a combination of recess lamps, table lamps, or what have you, just plenty of light to kind of provide that upliftment of mood and just feeling throughout the space so that you don't always feel like there's just this gloominess that's going on. So, our environments can help us, uh, get feel better, not only physically but mentally as well.
Wow. Mark has a comment here. He says another word for seasonal affective
Ooh,
disorder is Chicago.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
yeah. I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think maybe that's they talk about London all the time with the
Mhm.
Oh
fog
yeah, the
and
rain.
just rain and fog and constant. You know,
Yeah.
San Francisco, we get it's foggy, but it burns off during the some point during the day. It'll burn off, and then you'll see something. But those climates, I can
Mm.
see how that can. You don't see the sun for a few weeks. It can have a toll on you.
Oh yeah. And I just think even if you're not living in those areas, just the fact that it gets darker earlier, stays darker. We're coming into the, winter solstice, the
Yes.
longest, so this is a rough time for a lot of people. And then that on top of the holidays, that on top of
The
the
wonderfulness of the
COVID
last
stuff.
few
Yeah,
years. Yeah.
Mhm. It's rough. So, just do what you can and create spaces that just like feels like yummy.
Mm.
Everywhere you look, you see something that's really special and enjoyable and just makes you smile each day.
I like you saying that because a lot of times we put off doing
Mhm.
things. I saw a painting. I was at the salon, and sometimes salons they'll have artists that have brought in different
Mhm.
things, and I was like, and that one caught my eye,
Right.
Mhm.
and I was like, I want that painting. Is she selling it? Whose painting is that? I would like to buy that. And I don't know if it's for sale. It needs to be for sale because I want that painting. It
Mhm.
spoke to me, even though it may not have spoken to anybody else.
Right.
And it's just one color. It's got some other little colors in there, but it was saying something.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so now I got to hang it. And I'm deciding, okay, where do I want to hang it? And I
Mhm.
need to see it. I like what you said about everywhere you look, you need to see something you like.
Exactly. Now there are some things, and Francine, this is something that I wanted to ask you a little bit about too. As a feng shui consultant, I'll, put it out there. One of the things that we look for is understanding not only what's going on in the interior environment, but what's
Mm-hmm.
going on in the exterior environment. And there are things that, a lot of times you don't know that there may be what would you say? Here in Maryland, where I live, there's a lot of high tension power lines. Okay, in some of the neighborhoods, particularly in minority neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is something that a lot of people don't really think about. That how does that drain energy?
Oh.
On your body and make you tired and things like that. And one of the things when I go around and I look for houses or when I was in the housing market or if I go and visit a client's home, I'm looking for what are some exterior things that may affect a person and they may not even know it,
Right.
that they look for. And also, looking at the floor plans. And when you walk into a house, are you walking into just a wall, or are you walking into a space that opens up? What kind of energy? There's just these unspoken things that you just intuitively pick up. And
Right.
just was curious as a real estate person, do you think about those things, or do you notice what your clients like versus what they don't like when they come into a house? Is it like an open floor plan, or do they feel stifled if they come in and there's a wall right there? These kinds of things, and lighting and fixtures and stuff like
Y-
that, as well as colors on the
Yes.
wall. Yeah.
Yes. You
Hmm.
can walk into a house, and we walked into one house, and you walked in, and it was like real narrow, and you felt, okay, I can't move. And
Hmm.
there was no, it's just is not narrow.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then you walk down, and then there's a room, at the end of this narrowness, but it felt like, okay, this
Yeah.
wasn't comfortable. And they were like, no, I don't want this house.
Hmm.
Then there's other homes that are open. When you walk in, it's like the hallway is nice and wide, and you feel like I've arrived, and you feel good.
Right. So or maybe there's a lot of natural light coming in, maybe
Correct.
some skylights and so forth. These are the things that really, helps people to kind of feel, wow, I could definitely live here. I can feel good here. There's so much potential here, and these are just some of the things that I look for when I walk into a client's home and I'm working with them, about, trying to not only decorate their space, but just kind of get a sense of what kind of energy that's circulating because let's face it, especially now, we're spending a lot more times in our homes and our home offices.
Absolutely.
And if we are not feeling good or, getting energy,
Mm-hmm.
or our homes are not making us, happy or joyful, there's something we have to do something about it. And there's so many different ways to do that.
Right, you are absolutely right. I had to do something about my house because it was chopped up. You walk in, there's a dining room, and there's a hallway, and then you turn, and there's a dining room. Then you go down, then you turn, there's a kitchen, and then you turn, and then there's a living room. I was like, I can't deal with
Yeah,
this. And so we opened up that whole thing, took walls out, took a closet out, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like,
exactly.
woo,
See, when you open it up,
yeah,
it just makes, and even, rooms that are oddly shaped, they do affect you, particularly if
right,
it's like a bedroom, right?
Uh-huh.
So, if it has so many, angles and cutouts or, uh, weird ceilings or
Ceiling
whatever,
configurations.
right.
yeah, it's just the way the energy is circulating and it's just not happening. It's not
And
Hmm.
anything at
I
all.
don't. I think people when they manufactured them, they weren't thinking about all of that. Like we can put a room here and we can put a room there, and they. I'm like, no, don't think about that before you do that. Everybody wants an open floor plan. They
Yes.
do
Yeah.
not want compartments.
Right.
I call them jail cells, but nobody wants that. They want nice, open, and where you can create the space that you want.
Hmm.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. And like I say, like when it comes to colors, for example, I always tell people, decorate with your favorite color. My favorite color is purple. So I'm not going to have a purple room. I have a blue room. This is my home office. But I might have an accessory like a pillow or maybe some drapery or an area rug or some sort of vase or something that kind of brings in my favorite color,
Okay.
and coordinate that with, other colors and so forth. I always, recommend, particularly in hallways and main living areas to,
Hmm.
kind of keep it neutral, but keep it, like your grays now, of course, back in the day, and I guess still now is a lot of beiges and things like that, but try to keep those, more neutral and pop it with a lot of, different colors that you enjoy. And get vibration from. I don't necessarily follow a lot of the color trends. I do take
Hmm.
a look at them because I think it's just an interesting thing to see what Benjamin Moore is coming out with, for 2022 or somebody.
It's become a commercialized
Hmm.
trend, not
Hmm.
necessarily the designer color trend.
Well, yeah, it's the color thing, the color trends
Hmm.
are really based on so many things that kind of contributes to this whole thing. And I've even sat in and participated in, forecasting, what they call color
Yes.
forecasting.
Hmm.
It's usually 5 or 6 years out. The stuff that you're seeing now that they are saying is trends is something that was forecasted 3 or 4 years ago, and it's based on societal trends, product trends, what people are buying. It's even social movements,
Mm.
movies, top
Yes.
movies that are coming out. Um, you know, um, Music videos or what somebody wore to the Academy Awards, and it's little things that you would not expect.
Hmm.
And those who are forecasters that I know that are lucky enough to travel to Europe and go to a lot of these shows, these designer shows, and so forth, they go specifically to see what colors are coming out. The fashion shows.
Hmm.
Fashion shows are a big one. What are the, if you see a lot of yellow, then, oh man, so something's up with the yellow. The sunflower yellow is going to be the color of the year in 2 years, So, that's kind of how it works. So I think it's a very interesting thing, and I've delved in that area for a little bit, but yeah, but at the end of the day, you're always going to be happy with colors that you enjoy, whether it's
Yes.
a trend or not.
Because at Biz Chicks we say, "Do what makes you smile." You
That's
know.
right. That's right.
And
Hmm.
having a space that makes you thrive or causes you to thrive is going to make you smile. So we
Ooh, I
need to
love that. You know what?
Hmm.
I need to steal that from you.
go be appropriate.
But one of the things that I do, or I'll be launching next year, is what we call the Interior Environment Mentor Program. And
Mm.
what that is for a monthly fee that you work with me. And this is all DIY. I am your coach. I am the person that's going to help you get through what you want to do. And it's a 6 month program, but it encompasses understanding a little bit about design psychology, color, furniture placement, I teach you feng shui, the basics of feng shui, so you understand how or what you're trying to do is going to affect you and affect your
Mhm.
energy. We get into aromatherapy, essential oils, we get into even body movement. How does all these things affect you? And your personal goals. We go into coaching about your personal goals, things that irk you about your space, what you don't like about it, what you wish you could do with it. If you had it your way, what would it look like?
Mm.
And I help you create that space, whether it's a whole house, whether it's just one room, and we work together. And you get calls from me, you get lots of exercises and the tools to create what you want for yourself rather than to necessarily hire a designer or hire someone on an hourly basis to do it. But this
Mhm.
kind of helps you go within yourself, within your own value system, your personal, wherewithal to kind of create that space that you want.
Wow.
So, that is, one of the big things that I just decided that I wanted to do, and I'm mentoring you through it. And you get a lot of videos, and you become your own expert at
Mm.
your own, creating your own home.
I love that. And does anyone in the clubhouse have any questions? If you do, raise your hand, and I'll make sure that you are heard.
Yeah, I
And
love questions.
anyone watching live on our bizchicks.live, if you have a question, please put that in the chat. And Sherry, I'm going to also ask you to put how they can contact you and reach out to you. If you put that in the private chat area, we can get that out um, for the people who are
Sure,
watching and
sure.
listening.
I will do that.
I learned some really good tips here. Don't have nothing broken.
Mhm. Exactly. Is this your site? Um,
Yes, yes,
okay.
sbwalign.com. That's
Okay.
my about page.
Mhm.
I also still have my podcast as well,
Mhm.
Sacred Spaces,
Oh, cool.
and you can find a link to that on my website under About.
So does this
And
look familiar?
yes, so if you click, you can join my mailing list, but if you
Mhm.
just click that on
Next out of
the
that?
right, yeah, and then you go under the welcome, the about page, the interior environment coaching. I have yoga classes as well. I do essential oils, home interior color therapy, Reiki, feng shui, and then there's a link to the spaces, um,
The
Sacred
podcast.
Spaces podcast. Yeah.
Mhm.
And actually, I would love to have you both on there. It
Okay.
actually, I'm changing the name to Aligned Expressions in
Okay.
January. And so I want to schedule you both on, and we're expanding it to more of a lifestyle program to
Mhm.
just talk about, not only home, but health and other things and wellness. And how can we be, better, in how we live our lives and so
Ooh,
forth. So if you
better
look there,
align.
yeah. So, and these are 3 workshops I have coming up. One is a yin yoga class on the 19th. And then I'm doing, this is a great one, the Feng Shui Vision Board workshop, which is the
Mm.
day after New Year's.
Mhm.
It's online class. We had a great class last year. This is my second one where you basically build out your own vision. It could be for your home or for your life based on feng shui. So you learn about feng shui and you create a vision board at the same time.
Mhm.
And then later in January, I'm doing something on looking at the introduction of feng shui and essential oils for health. And, how can we become healthy? How can we use essential oils, for example, to help us to get healthier using things from a feng shui? Oh, yeah, my Pinterest site there, or somebody's on Pinterest.
Yes,
That's really
I
cool.
clicked something here. Let's see. Let me
Yeah,
go back.
yeah. And there's, on my website as well, there's a section on the interior environment program, mentorship program that I talked about. And let me put my Facebook. Um, yeah, so
So,
there I
okay.
am. Hmm.
So I'm going to share with you our direct.me. With direct.me, you can put all of those things in one place. You can do, um,
Direct.me. Let me put that down
yes,
because
it
I
will
always
be,
learn so much from you guys. I really do.
and put them all under the same thing. You can put, it's a
So you
space
can
for your
send them from
podcast,
one
for your
place.
website, for your
Oh, okay.
Instagram. You can put it all in one location.
Is it like linked?
Yeah, it's kind of like Linktree, but this one gives you a little bit more things to do. You can have classes on there where they can pay you and all kind of stuff.
Oh, wow. Okay. I've just wrote that down.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
So
So
then we
I am
can.
so excited to be here and sharing. You guys are doing so well. I mean, what was it that platform we met on
Was it
years
Power
ago?
Talk?
Okay, it could have been Fire Talk. It could have been. It wasn't Blab. I think we met you
It
after
was
Blab.
Blab. It was
It was
Was
Blab.
it
Blab.
Black?
Oh, okay.
Wow,
Yeah,
that really goes back, Sherry.
that was
Yeah.
a while back. Well, we just want to say thank you so much, Doctor.
Yeah.
Mark, do you want to weigh in and tell us what you got going on? I know you're over here in Clubhouse, and I think you had something over there on.
He says, thank you, Sherry.
Well,
Yeah,
thank you, Mark. It's a pleasure.
Mhm.
Mark, did you want to tell us about your business and all of that on Clubhouse, or are you good? And Claudia, I'm gonna ask you the same. Go ahead, Mark.
Sure, I'm happy to do it, though probably some of you are tired of hearing it.
No, we're not.
I'm going to have to turn it into a song or something
Oh, okay.
at this point.
And a 1 and a 2 and a.
Okay. I am Mark Ward. I am a life strategist. And I love when people ask me what I do, and I say that because I get that smile and that blank look in their eyes, but they're often too timid to say, what is that? Anyway, I help people define success in a measurable capacity, and I work with them to create the strategies that ensure that they achieve it. So I'm a provocateur. I ask the questions that invite you to go deeper, to see the power, the potential, and the possibility in every circumstance to help you thrive rather than simply survive, and to live rather than just exist. So I condition you for success by working with you to align your thoughts, words, and actions with a clear vision. So I will help you bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. So if your life is not all that you want it to be, for what are you waiting? This is my gift. It's my privilege. It's one of my callings. I have the experience, the expertise, and the techniques to unlock your inner wisdom. The thing about this is not a dress rehearsal. So this is it. So if you want more in your life, you have to begin by saying yes right now and take what could be the most important, exciting, and life-changing step that you will ever make. Reach out to me because I know that I can help you. And you can find me at Ask Mark Ward on all of the social platforms. And you'll actually find a lot of helpful, hopefully, helpful quotes and things that will give you some deeper thought, especially on my Twitter and my Facebook page. I also write a daily blog. My website is newdesign.com, spelled like newdesign.com.
Mhm.
For that, you can always go to askmarkward.com. It will take you to the same place.
All right, Mark, thank you so much.
Nice meeting you.
And I put I make you a moderator, so if you want to click a link for your website there, you can do that. All right, next up, Claudia.
Oh,
What do you got going on, my dear? And Dr. Tachi or Ann, if you all want to come up and tell us what you got going on and what it is that you do and how you help, we got a space for you. Just let me know, raise your hand, and I will bring you up. In the meantime, any questions for Sherry Steine? Man, it was good. That was very good, Sherry. I am so glad we had the opportunity to have you back in the seat once again.
Of course.
Anybody who's listening to this right now, you can always go back and watch the replay on YouTube. It will be there. And I do believe the replays are turned on in Clubhouse.
Hey, Terry.
Yes, the replay is on.
It's in the house.
And so you can listen to this again over on the Clubhouse as well. Sherry gave us some really good, really good tips. Man, just go back and listen to it. Thank you all for tuning in today. We had Rika came in from LA and Sherry from Maryland. Mark from Chicago, Dr. Tachi from Florida, and I'm not sure where you are. We had Cheryl in the house today. Who else do we have over here? We got Cheryl, and
we had Maureen in the house.
Maureen and Lawana. And if I don't want to miss anybody, so tell us your name over there. Some people are incognito, just trying to hang out and be in the background. And Mark Ward. This is First Monday where every month we're gonna feature someone that can help take us to the next level in whatever we got going on. One little nugget can change the trajectory of your business or your life. And it is really, really important for you to, have gatherings like this, just so we can glean from one another. Follow one another on social media, whatever your social media of choice is. And then we'll meet right back here on every first Monday. The first Monday of every month, we will be right here. We're looking at going back into the restaurant, but right now we're right here. So Terry?
We want to remind you that tomorrow we'll be here at 8 a.m. Pacific time for Biz Chicks. We're going to be talking to our social media strategist, Terry Johnson, online everywhere. Wednesday, we'll be talking with Coach Karen about your money mindset. Thursday, we come in and we talk about happy, healthy habits with Robin Shimizu and friends. And Friday, we'll be talking tech and English. So don't be scared. Come on in and learn about different things that will help you run a profitable business that's fun to run. We want to thank everybody today.
Yeah, TJ's topic tomorrow is start planning for success in 2022.
So, guys,
make
sure you bring your pencils when you come.
Right.
Yeah, Terry. She is just awesome. I love her.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, teacher.
All right.
So we want to thank Enrique again for returning safely.
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions for Rika? Because she's back.
Storytelling.
Yeah, about storytelling. And okay, so Sherry has an offer for you, and we're going to put that in, put her website also in the yeah.
Okay.
And then
I can make
if you just put it's in the private chat, I can take it and put it where I need to go. So That's all I have.
We want to remind you to go to the front of your own line, and we'll see you tomorrow, first thing in the morning. Have a great day, guys.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.